Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in live. I am going to be interviewing Jason Campbell. Jason Campbell is the host of Mind Valley's Superhumans at Work podcast. And I just wanted to get word out on Superhumans at Work. This podcast has been going so strong, and I'm texting Jason right now, come on live. I misspelled it, so I told him, come on, love. No, come on live. Okay, so hi, Alex, nice to see you. Hi, Kiroba. Hi, Deepa. Hi, PWG. Miriam, YU. Omar Rickson. Somebody asked me, are you Indian? Yes, I am Indian, definitely. But I'm also Malaysian. I'm also Estonian. I'm also American. I also speak English. Why define yourself by one little box, right? Hi, Bianca. And Jason. Jason is here. All right, so here's Jason. Luke, so good to see you, Luke. And Rita. Okay, Jason, there you are.
Hey,
so this is Jason Campbell. Jason is the host of Mind Valley Superhuman at Work podcast. He has a productivity quest on Mind Valley. He's a total freaking rock star. And I guess on an ordinary day, Jason has the hairstyle of Johnny Bravo. Today it's kind of flat, Jason. What happened? Did you walk out in the rain?
Well, in Bali it gets very humid, so I gotta change identity when I walk out. So no Johnny Bravo for today.
Oh, Jason. Oh, man. I was looking forward to seeing your Johnny Bravo hair. Well, let's get started with the Superhumans at Work podcast. Jason, tell us about this new development at Mind Valley.
Well, for those who don't know, we've been actually running a podcast called Superhumans at Work at Mind Valley, because when it comes to personal growth, a big part of our lives is actually what we do at work, what we do to make an impact. And in fact, you'll notice that if we can teach people to take whatever they've done with higher levels of consciousness into the workplace, individuals can evolve, companies can evolve, and that makes the world a better place. So I get a chance to interview amazing thought leaders when it comes to productivity, leadership, communication skills, working with teams, design thinking, everything that really turns you into a superhuman at work. So if you haven't been listening to Superhumans at Work, we're really trying to get the word out. We've been having close to 500,000 people download these episodes, and we're doing extraordinary guests.
Yeah, congratulations. Superhumans at Work, a Mind Valley podcast, just hit 500,000 downloads. And here's why it's really relevant. I was on a call with Mind Valley All Access members, and I asked people, do you have a story, like a remarkable story of what happened? And there was this one lady from Romania, I believe, who told her story. She got on Superhumans at Work. So this is in the podcast. We also have a higher level interview series. It's part of Mind Valley All Access. And she said in 18 months, watching the episodes on Mind Valley Superhuman at Work, she doubled her income and she moved into an apartment with double the square footage. And she showed us all her apartment. There were like 400 people on that call. And why this is so important is a concept called refresh rate. So if you guys are watching, do you know what I mean by refresh rate? If you've read The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, that word will sound familiar. So the way most people grow is they grow in the same way over and over and over and over and over again. For years, they go to the gym doing a similar methodology of exercise. For years, they read in the same way. For years, they practice productivity skills in the same way. But true masters of transformation adopt a concept called refresh rate. And what this means is every now and then, rather than go to the gym, you might say, all right, not going to go to the gym today. Today, I'm going to stay home and study muscle development. I'm going to study optimized exercise. I'm going to study biohacking. So the next time I go to the gym, I get more bang for the hour that I put in. That's called a refresh rate. So I refresh everything about myself as often as I can. Right now, I'm actually studying speed reading. If you are in any apartment that I live in, you'll notice there's at least 1,000 books. And I'll tell you a secret. I only read like 96% of them. So now I want to be able to read, I only read 4% of them. I got the math wrong. So now I want to be able to read at least 6%. So I started studying speed reading. Today I did the test. I did the Gym Quick speed reading course on Mind Valley. My reading speed went up from 370 words per minute 100 words per minute in 2 days. Okay, 2 days. Now, will it sustain itself? We'll see. I'm sure it'll drop a bit, but even if I get to 500, that's a big win. So that's a refresh rate. I don't keep anything stable. I'm constantly refreshing everything. Now, the interesting thing for those of you watching is that we don't do refresh rates at work. So we work the same way over and over and over and over and over again. So at Mindvalley, we tried something different. We set up something for our employees called the 45-5 rule. And it says this: put in 40 hours of work, but 5 hours, okay, 5 hours, at least an hour a day. Update the way you work. You can do this from home, reading a book on sales, a book on customer support. You can study business processes. Invest in your own learning. And then we buy tons of Amazon books. We give people tons of Mindvalley courses. So you're spending 40 hours a week working for Mindvalley, but we ask that you spend 5 hours a week working on yourself, right? No matter what you want to do. You can go on WildFit and improve your cognition by changing your diet. Great. That's going to show up in your productivity. You're refreshing yourself. Now, Superhumans at Work was created because there are so many leading thinkers out there with new ways of, oh, hi, Mark Metry. Mark Metry is a great guy to follow. So there are so many people out there with new ways of everything, from working with a virtual assistant, from leading a team, answering emails, optimizing your Slack account, getting more done in less time. But most people forget about that. So what Jason is doing, Jason is on this incredible quest. He is out there to find the best experts on refreshing how you work, and then boom, bringing it to you on the Superhumans at Work podcast. So check it out. We designed this podcast so you listen to it as you go to work. Now, I know a lot of us aren't driving to work right now, so our timing was a little bit off. Listen to it when you're in the shower, or listen to it in the middle of a break. Or while you're cooking, right? I listen to podcasts now as I'm cooking, or sometimes when I'm taking a walk. And you will find that if you just listen to one episode of Superhumans at Work a week, in at least 2 months, you will start noticing huge differences in how you show up at work. And I bet you it will increase your odds of getting a promotion or climbing the career ladder. Ultimately, it's going to help you do more in less time. So go to Superhumans at Work. Jason, is there a URL where people can subscribe to the podcast?
Easiest way to do it is if you go to my profile. So if you click on the top, you'll see my profile. The description link I have on my biography, you can actually download directly from Apple Podcasts or from Google Podcasts. And what's really fascinating, I think the episode we just released for today is extremely relevant in our times. It's about having more success without stress. And I know, Vishen, you speak a lot about this in your own book. And this author I brought in, this lady just speaks about why stress is fully concepted in our mind. And the fact is you feel like you do a lot when you put on the stress mode, but when you let go of the stress, you go so much further and happier in the process. So it's a fascinating episode. I recommend everybody to go download it, listen to it. And if you have a chance, give us a review. Let us know how you liked it, because we keep bringing these incredible people with incredible topics.
So if any of you are listening to the Mindvalley podcast and you have a favorite episode, share it. Type it out in the comments. We want to know what's your favorite episode. It could be Superhumans at Work, or it could be the Mindvalley podcast, which I host. Just share your favorite episode. Jason, I'd love for you. Someone just spam the entire comment with the word hello.
I saw that. Hi, Dipanshu, we see you. You said hello.
We've noticed you. So Jason, I'd love to know, what are some of your favorite episodes in Superhumans at Work, and what did you learn?
I'm very glad you asked. There's a lot of good ones. And I think one of the ones that really stands out is one with Daniel Goleman. He's the one who actually built the whole movement around emotional intelligence in the workplace. So if you look through the episodes, it's a little bit of an oldie, but it's one of our top episodes. Daniel Goleman is incredible. I really enjoyed this episode. And there's another one that's extremely powerful, and it's with Dr. John DeMartini. Now, if you're familiar with his work, he's a speaker that rocks the stages around the world. He spoke about the simple plan, the simplest of plan, of making the biggest impact on the planet. And it just starts with awareness of where your time goes, and he gives you the prescription. And this is why people love this episode, because you leave it and you have a prescription on maximizing your output. And it just blows your mind on how simple it is and how powerful it is. So I'd say those are two of my favorite episodes, Vishen.
I've interviewed John DeMartini. So the guy is what you call, I think it's called autodidact. It's someone who is basically a genius in multiple disciplines, right? Yeah. John DeMartini is probably one of the smartest individuals I've ever interviewed. And I see lots of comments on Daniel Goleman. Yeah, Daniel Goleman wrote one of my favorite books, Altered Traits. It's a book on accessing altered states of consciousness, which is a big thing I'm into. Daniel Goleman's book, Alter Traits, is amazing. He's also the guy who popularized the concept of emotional intelligence, a really key concept. So those are some pretty powerful guests you've had on the podcast. What else?
Well,
what are some other highlight
I need to
episodes?
bring one. I need to bring one more up, which is not a personal favorite, but it was one of the audience's personal favorite. It was actually with a lady called Alyssa Vitti, and we talked about productivity optimization for women. And this was one of the most revealing episodes because she explained how men usually operate from a 24-hour cycle with our hormones, and women have an additional cycle that spans through the month, which is the menstrual cycle. She broke down how the entire biohacking movement doesn't test for women and how you can actually optimize your productivity and projects based on a monthly calendar so you can be a superwoman at work. So for any of the women that are watching that want to see how you can actually optimize yourself and realize that there's a lot of myths or rules, as we like to say at Mind Valley, that episode with Alyssa Vitti is extremely powerful.
Could you spell that out, Jason? People are asking about Alyssa Vitti. Could you spell it out? Or at least her last name? It's Elisa.
Yeah, and then it's Vitti.
Vitti. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to drop it right in the chat as well.
Now,
So it's Vitti.
Now, some of you may be wondering, why do we provide such great content on this podcast for free? Well, we want to introduce people to the power of Mind Valley. A lot of people listen to this podcast, they start understanding the concept of refresh rates, of getting better and better and better for every slice of hour you spend at work. And of course, the single best program on that across the world, anywhere, is Mind Valley All Access. So they end up on Mind Valley All Access. If you're watching here and you're not on Mind Valley All Access, I strongly urge you to check it out. mindvalley.com/access. Everything is unlocked for you. Everything. Your entire life transforms. And now with All Access, we've added our own private social network so our students connect in the real world, in meetups. And so it's a really powerful tool. I believe that All Access is the single greatest product you can buy on planet Earth today. And I'm willing to go on record and state that with anyone because of the sheer value. Nothing else provides this level of transformation, this powerfully, this affordably.
And one thing I really love about All Access that we're introducing is for those of you who want to get closer with authors, when you're part of All Access, you'll actually be able to join me as I interview a lot of these authors in productivity, ask your questions, and be part of the recording. So this is something new that we're introducing for those of you who are already part of All Access. This is coming up. And if you're just getting started, start with listening to the podcast, but you'll want to be part of the bigger Mind Valley family eventually. And we'd love to see each and every one of you join us.
So I see this comment that just came in from Neha. An advice to teenagers, because coming across Mind Valley was the best thing that's ever happened to me. But now I have no interest in physics, chemistry, math, and biology, and I'm a 12th grade student. Now that is true. Do you need knowledge of physics, math, chemistry, and biology? Yeah, I guess it's useful to understand the basics around that. Is it going to help you in life? Not unless you go into engineering or science. I went into engineering, so physics, chemistry were relevant to me. But my son actually has the science knowledge 4 to 5 times better than any adult we come across. And he learns it all on YouTube. I think if you are in school, the most important thing right now isn't physics, isn't chemistry, it isn't math, it isn't biology. It's the stuff that you see on Mind Valley. If you've been paying attention, what we are bringing to the world is the knowledge missing from schools. Now, this isn't just me saying it. Sugitra Mitra, the famous Indian educator who won the TED Prize for Education, spoke in Malaysia. I was in the audience seeing him speak, and he said, there are 2 things we have to pull out of schools because they waste students' time. Math, he said, is one. Why are we teaching people math when most of us are going to be using a phone to help us with complex math? He said the basics of math is enough unless you want to go into engineering. The second thing he said is, why are we teaching spelling? Why? Because most of us right now are going to be, in the future, people are going to be dictating to a machine that's going to write the book for you. Do you know my books are written as an audio note? I actually speak out my book. And then a machine transcribes it, and then an editor goes and puts the words together. Then I go and I do a double check. I don't really see how great spelling has helped me much in life. But you know how I'm able to dictate my book? I learn how to access altered states. So when I speak, it's super fluent because I've hypnotized myself using the Silva method to dip into alpha levels of mind through a trigger that's joining your three fingers together like that. I dip into the alpha level of mind. I access alpha waves. I'm able to fluidly tap into ideas. It's like suddenly turbocharging your brain, and I can write a chapter in 1 or 2 hours flat. That's what we should be teaching in school, but we don't. We don't. We teach a lot of BS that isn't frankly necessary in today's world. So thank you, Neha, for pulling that up. And I want you to know, Neha, you are not a freak. You are actually, quite possibly, a future human. And if any of you feel that this resonates with you, go to mindvalley.com/access. It is the best investment you can make in your education. 5 years from now, we're taking on the universities of the world. Within 5 years, mark my words, Mindvalley will have a greater correlation with your success in life, your entrepreneurship, your career, than a degree from Stanford or Harvard. That's what we're going for. Because what we have coming is so freaking advanced at this point.
You bet. And for those who are already Access members, we have an incredible week right now where we're running the whole Mindvalley U virtual, which is one of the reasons that I know I'll be heading out pretty soon, because I'll be hosting this for the entire week. And so we always bring live trainings on top of everything that's included part of All Access. So it's definitely something you want to check out. And Vishen, what's the link for people to go to find All Access?
Mindvalley.com / it's the first link on mindvalley.com. Or you can just go to mindvalley.com / access. Or here's an easy way to remember it. Mindvalley.com /start. Mindvalley.com /start. Just go there and enroll. When you're an All Access member, so many things happen. Today we have a workshop on inducing out-of-body experiences with Jade Shore, astral projection. This is an ancient art used by Tibetan monks, and Jade is a British teacher. She is incredible. She's really young, but just a genius at this. Tomorrow, Wim Hof, the Iceman. There have been documentaries about these guys, this man's superhuman ability. Tomorrow, me and Jason are going to be interviewing Wim Hof. He's live, just chatting with our All Access audience. So it's an amazing thing to be on.
And it's actually really fun because it was 2 days ago, we actually had an experience for women to unleash their own energy and power, which was incredible to see. And everyone was just having such a transformation. But
who was that with? Was that Rachel Pringle?
Rachel Pringle, that's it. She took the scene. Everybody loved it. And so that was really powerful. And then there was a few men who were like, hey, I want to get through my empowerment. I want to step into this. And so today, Juan Pablo is actually coming to do a wild men power experience where we're actually going to unleash our inner masculinity as well. So there's stuff for everyone. We always have fun and it's incredible. So if you're not part of this is definitely something you should be trying. And if you're checking out for Superhumans at Work, I do want to answer a comment that I saw for those who want to subscribe to the podcast. Apparently the link to Spotify doesn't work, but if you go to Spotify and look for Superhuman, you'll find it very easily. And we have an incredible episode, like I said, that was just released.
Yeah, go to mindvalley.com /podcast, and all our podcasts are there, and you'll see the links to everything. And then to get involved in Mindvalley, to become a member, go to mindvalley.com /start. /start is where you can enroll in Mindvalley All Access.
Now, I'm going to do something which I don't know if this is going to be a mistake or not, but I'll tell for everybody who's watching live, if you want to have an episode recommended to you personally for Superhumans at Work, just send me a message about what you're trying to expand yourself or learn when it comes to the workplace, and I'll directly give you a recommendation of what is the best episode for you to start with, and I know that's going to get you hooked on the program. I love that,
Jason. That's awesome, and that's so nice of you. And follow Jason Mark Campbell.
So with that, Vishen, I'm going to be heading out. I need to get prepared to host our Mindvalley University Virtual. So thank you so much for giving me a chance to share with Superhumans at Work. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope to have generated a lot of people that are going to be listening to this, having transformation, and I can't wait to hear your stories of how this has impacted your lives. This is why we do it. This is why I'm involved, and this is a great thing to be involved in. So thank you for being fans of Mindvalley, and I'll see you on some future episodes.
Thanks, guys. All right. Bye, Jason. Hey, I'll stick around if I'm going to stick around if any of you guys just want to chat or ask me any questions. I got about 5 minutes. I'd love to see if I can add value by answering any question. So somebody said, I'm a teenager. Should I buy Code of the Extraordinary Mind of Buddha and the Badass? Buy Code of the Extraordinary Mind. And Mind Valley has a free program for teens. Go to mindvalley.com/teens, sign up for our free program. Tens of thousands of teenagers have taken it. It's a program I teach with Jamia Drummond Bay. She is an incredible top educator and a TED Fellow. Hi, Vinny. Nice to see someone from Malaysia. Tika says, when's the Earth flag coming? Humanity isn't ready for it. We need to have a certain threshold of consciousness. You see, recently on Mind Valley, I put up a simple video saying, don't vote for leaders who build walls, vote for leaders who build bridges. It triggered so many people. Humanity isn't ready, but we are working on getting humanity ready. See, people think Mind Valley is an edtech company. We are, in a way, but we are also embedding in it an accelerator for human consciousness. But I predict the Earth flag, I'll only be able to bring it forth in about 20 years. It will take that much time for enough momentum to build so that we put nationalism into the garbage bin of history. Patriotism, of course, great, but it'll take about 20 years, but it's coming. Moro, happy to give so much support to the Mind Valley Spanish community. We're about to double up the offerings on Mind Valley Espanol. You'll be seeing a new face, Alvaro Sanchez. He's living in Barcelona, and he is going to be bringing on so many great Spanish teachers in live conversations with our Mind Valley Espanol community. Nisha said, thank you so much, Vishen. You have changed my life. Thank you, Nisha, for saying that. I really appreciate that. Gosh, it's so nice being able to interact. I haven't been live on Instagram in a really, really long time because I was going through a lot of stress, a lot of ups and downs as my life was being completely torn apart in the middle of the pandemic, moving countries, moving houses, going through some pretty awful health issues. It's only in the last 2 weeks that I really managed to get back in shape, get my life together again, and really start taking things back to normal. So that's why you hadn't seen me for a while. So Surya said, how's your shift to Europe been? Surya, it's been really amazing. I'm really loving it here. I love the lifestyle of Europe. I love the fact that I can walk everywhere. I honestly decided to not even buy a car. I bought a bicycle. I get in a little $300 Polish bicycle and I just move everywhere I need to move. I love being able to eat healthy food. I love the fact that when you go to restaurants, the default drink is sparkling water and not Coca-Cola. I love that there's not a single Starbucks around, zero Starbucks, just original mom and pop cafes. And you get to know the owner, and every cafe, the owner, decorates it so immaculately. So it's like living in a small town where everybody knows each other. And I miss that. I don't know if I'd ever want to go back to a big city. So I'm really enjoying Tallinn, Estonia. Now, those of you who are part of Mind Valley All Access, you're all going to be invited to Tallinn, Estonia to participate in Mind Valley University. So I will be seeing a lot of you guys over here. Jessica said, where do you live? Tallinn, Estonia. As far as I'm concerned, the greatest little city in the world. So my alternate reality says, how can MU old students access the Mind Valley Connect app? Download it, log in, it'll recognize who you are, and you'll be added to the Mind Valley U community. Valley says, when is The Buddha and the Badass coming out in Italian? Hopefully soon. I don't get to predict these things. I don't know how these things work. It happens on the other side with the book publishing agent, but hopefully it'll be in Italian soon. Monica said, when is Mind Valley University? It's happening in July in Tallinn, Estonia, literally like a 10-minute walk from where I live right now. Sankash said, will you plan to visit India? I was there last to do an interview at a World Women's Conference. I was interviewing Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. That was a huge honor for me. Unfortunately, traveling right now is a no-no. But here's the cool thing, Shankars. We are officially starting Mind Valley India. We're also starting Mind Valley Estonia. We are starting these unique local chapters of Mind Valley with real live events, with our own private social network, with connectivity, and that's going to be happening really, really, really soon.
Then we're going to be scaling it to every country in the world. But I'm looking at 2 countries to start in, Estonia and India. So you're going to see that happen really fast. So someone at, why is Mindvalley University again in Tallinn next year? Well, it's partially logistics, partially people really love Tallinn. Now what we found is initially we thought people want to experience different cities, but it turns out it's not about the city. If you want to experience the city, go do a vacation, right? People want to come back to familiarity. They want to come back to a place they know. They want to revisit the old cafes where the memories were formed. And you got to find a really, really, really great city that is spectacular to live in, also highly affordable. Tallinn was on the Lonely Planet list for most affordable, unique destination in the world. And that's why we bring people here. Also, something really special about Tallinn, it has the highest number of entrepreneurs per capita. Everywhere you meet entrepreneurs, the startup density here is now higher than Silicon Valley. The density of billion-dollar startup companies here is the highest in the world. Mindvalley is going to be probably the 5th billion-dollar startup company in Estonia, what is often called a unicorn. So yeah, Tallinn is amazing. I see Luke saying Tallinn's incredible. I had the most amazing time there in 2018. It's a magical place. Holima said, what about Mindvalley, South Africa? Eventually, we're going to get there. And somebody said Vilnius. I love Vilnius. I was just there. In fact, what's interesting is we now have a team in Vilnius. It's a small team, 2 people, but we have so many talented Lithuanians in Mindvalley. We're now officially opening up sort of like a workspace in Vilnius for our brilliant Lithuanian employees who want to be home and still be able to be part of the Mindvalley mission. Oh, I see Mindvalley Espanol just joined us. That's awesome. So somebody said, keep motivating. Thank you. I love doing that. So guys, it was really fun speaking to all 600 of you. Thank you for tuning in on this Instagram Live. Don't forget to check out our new podcast, Superhumans at Work. And so many amazing things are coming to Mindvalley in the coming months. Right now, our pace of innovation is so fast. We are releasing 1 new feature to Mindvalley All Access every 2 weeks. And by new feature, I mean a new program or a new technology feature or a new social feature or a new perk or a new benefit, 1 every 2 weeks. My goal is to create the single greatest product in the world. And what can be greater than a product that actually transforms you at a soul level? That's what we're seeking to do with Mindvalley, and we're making it so affordable, it will soon be available to everyone. So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and love you lots. Bye guys. I can't figure out how to shut this off. I'm using a Google Pixel phone, and there seems to be a bug in Instagram in Google Pixel. So I'm awkwardly here looking at you guys as I try to figure out how to turn this damn thing off. No, it doesn't work. So weird. Anyone got an answer? Jason, do you know how to do this? This is the most awkward goodbye. Okay, I'm just gonna go flush the phone down my toilet. That will definitely do it. Then I'll just buy a new phone. It's fine.